creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
So if I give you a glass of water, and then I piss in it,
Huh?
and then I add sugar, it doesn't remove the piss. These are both independent things. This is what tends to happen. This is what we don't understand about trauma. Removing the piss requires removing the piss. No amount of sugar will take it out of the drink. Okay? This is mistake number one. No amount of building something good will remove something bad. Okay? And it's also like, and it's also, if I break a leg, no amount of bench press will heal my leg. Like, I can build as much as I want to, I can fix my hair, I can brush my teeth, but the leg is broken, the leg is broken. Same is true of the mind.
So how exactly do we remove trauma then? Is that possible?
Okay, so this is serious news, and I don't know why it's not being reported more, but there has been a major reversal in ocean circulation in the Southern Ocean, meaning that in the Antarctic there has been a sudden salt surge causing the ice to melt at a rapid pace. This is happening right now. For the first time, the current has reversed. This has never happened before, and they are witnessing it right now, and I don't know why it's not being put out there. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, save this video. Just go ahead and put into Google, look up major ocean current reversal.
This is how the movie The Day After Tomorrow started.
Humans weren't meant to see. The oldest human ever photographed, Conrad Heyer, born in 1749, was 102 years old when he was photographed in 1852. You're looking at a man who would be 266 years old right now. The first photograph ever of a person, taken in 1838, you can see a man getting his shoes polished as he mistakenly became the first ever person to be photographed in history. The street was actually full of people, but the camera exposure was so long that he was the only one who stood still long enough to be captured. The earliest ever recorded sound of Big Ben, London 1890.
July the 16th, 1890, was made by Miss Bergen and Graham Hope.
The first ever photograph of lightning, taken on the 2nd of September 1882 in Philadelphia, USA.
First ever person? What about the other person shining his shoes?
This man was the most dangerous in the world. In 1963 in New York City, a man named Jerry Dunk ran a modest hot dog stand on Main Street. But his hot dogs weren't just food, they were a real sensation. The residents swore they were the best they had ever tasted, and Jerry's secret recipe was a very well-kept mystery. Families crowded around his stand, and Jerry's warm smile and friendly attitude turned customers into friends. Jerry often chatted with the fathers, talked about sports or fishing, and frequently invited them to hang out after closing time, calling it guy time. Many fathers gladly accepted, telling their families they were heading back to Jerry's stand to grab another hot dog or chat with their new friend. But then they never came home again. The police launched an investigation. At first, Jerry fully cooperated, flashing his playful smile and insisting he had no idea what was going on. "I'm just a guy with a grill," he said. But as suspicions grew, the police decided to search Jerry's house. What they found was horrifying. In Jerry's basement, hidden behind a locked steel door, there was a full-size basketball court. But it wasn't the court that horrified the officers. On the other side of the room, there was a huge industrial incinerator, its metal walls blackened with soot. Nearby, they found piles of men's clothing. When confronted by the police in his secret hideout, Jerry said, "The first rule of the game is you have to win," as an evil grin spread across his face. When they asked where the missing men were, he quickly pointed to the incinerator and said, "I'm the king of Dunk." Then he started running toward the incinerator. And you can probably imagine how he kept his hot dogs hot. Comment Jerry for part 2.
Why wouldn't he burn the clothes as well? Makes no sense.
This place used to be loved by all Soviet dictators, until it became the most depressing city in the world. It was 1935, deep in Siberia. No roads, no towns, nothing. But under the ice laid nickel, copper, and platinum. So the Soviets made a plan. They sent thousands of prisoners and political enemies, chained together, dropped into the ice and tasked to build a city from scratch. And somehow, it worked. Factories ran non-stop, mines dug day and night. The city became a key source of Soviet metal. For decades, it thrived, until the inevitable happened. The Soviet Union collapsed. 30 years later, no roads lead in. Foreigners are banned. The air is toxic, filled with sulfur, smoke, and metal dust. 9 months of winter, temperatures drop below minus 50 degrees Celsius. There's barely any sun. This is Norilsk, once a Soviet success, now the most depressing city on Earth.
Really?
People were saying they found like a big serpent at the end of Antarctica. You seen that?
Antarctica, no.
In the book of Revelation, they say there's gonna be a huge serpent or like a big dragon that's gonna, you know, cause havoc on the world. They say this looks like a serpent head. And this is on Google Earth, on Google Maps. You've seen it.
Oh,
so
shit.
look at the face, or look at the head. It literally looks like a serpent, right? Now, what they're saying is, this whole time, there's been a dormant serpent or dormant dragon, whatever it may be. And then that's the one that will awaken when the world ends.
Damn.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Have you heard the Pope prophecy?
No.
Have you heard that?
No.
Yo, this is like the scariest shit because it's real. So, but before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Phones were being spied on by a blue radio app. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately. In the Vatican, they found this book, right? And this book, it predicted every single one of the popes that became pope.
Really?
Literally every single one.
Really?
Now, this guy, he said after the middle one, 422 years later, that's when the last pope will be named. That's what he said, okay?
Yeah.
Check this out. If you go to the Vatican, there's places where you put the pictures of the pope. They have for every single one they ever had. And they only have space for one more. So in the book it says, once they put the face of the last pope in that place, the judgment day will come. That's what they're saying.
Nobody knows when Judgment Day will come.
One of the scariest conversations I was privy to was a friend of mine who's a billionaire in London. He knows the CEO of one of the biggest AI companies in the world, who I can't name. And he said, by the way, what he tells me in private is not what he's saying publicly. He said to me, what this particular CEO thinks is going to happen with AI is pretty horrific. And the CEO of this big AI company is totally cool with it. And it's horrific what he thinks is about to happen. And then when I watch this guy do his like online talks and give his opinion, he's so nuanced and everything will be fine and he's an AI optimist. Then I heard this scenario at this kitchen table in East London from his friend about what he really thinks, and it was chilling. Actually, the lack of empathy.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
The obsession with power was shocking to me.
I wonder if one day AI might turn against us and hack the whole world nuclear systems to end us.
Humanoid robots are slowly rolling out to the public in China. Oh, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. You see, recently videos have been popping up from all over China of a specific robot from a company called Unitree. Now, this is because their civilian robot has officially gone on sale, and because of that, we're seeing videos of this thing like playing with children. And to be fair, at a height of only 4'2" and weight of 35 kg, it kind of weirdly blends in as one of them. There's also videos of it carrying people's bags while following them around, carrying their shopping while also walking their robot dog, and even going undercover, walking along in the street, which I needed a freaking double take to realize that wasn't a child. I'm not gonna lie. This thing has got to have some of the most human-like fluid movements I've ever seen on a robot. It is even part of the first ever humanoid robot combat competition. Now on the website it says that it costs 16K, but in brackets it says contact us for the real price, which is a bit of a tease. But if this video gets 1 million likes, I will contact them and give the News Daddy Empire its first robot citizen. You know what to do.
We need Will Smith.
Here's the animal that God forbade from entering Noah's Ark. Everything you learned in church was incomplete because they left out the most shocking part. When the flood was imminent, Noah received a specific list of forbidden creatures. While most were mythical beasts, one was very real and very dangerous. This animal had been watching humanity since the beginning, learning their weaknesses and desires. It possessed an uncanny ability to read minds and plant thoughts. God knew that placing this creature on the ark would doom the human race before they even reached dry land. The animal arrived at the ark disguised as something harmless, but Noah's divine discernment saw through the deception immediately. What happened next terrified even the experienced patriarch. The creature revealed its true form and began speaking in tongues that made the other animals restless and aggressive.
What?
Noah realized why God had been so adamant about excluding this particular beast. Its very presence poisoned the atmosphere around it. As the rain intensified and the ark's doors sealed shut, the forbidden animal unleashed a supernatural wail that shook the massive vessel. From inside, Noah and his family could hear it crying out curses and prophecies. The creature's psychic abilities were so powerful that it nearly drove several animals mad with fear. This beast represented everything wrong with the old world that God wanted to wash away. What was this mind-controlling animal that posed such a threat? Comment America for the shocking answer and save this video.
Let me tell you, it was my ex-girlfriend.
Definitely the most energetic spot I've been so far. See, this isn't just a sculpture, guys. It's not just public art. This is a signal relay vault disguised under a phoenix, meant to symbolize rebirth while actually looping energy through a trap grid. Right now, I'm standing in the center of a multi-directional electromagnetic system. These light rails form a perfect coil around the structure, pulsing electricity into the ground and upward into the air. What they're doing is making this entire intersection a living battery. The metal phoenix, it's acting like a conductor, charging the atmosphere with every train that passes. The power boxes, the red grid, even the concrete below me has tech embedded in it. And your body becomes part of it the second you step into the circle. But here's the twist. They didn't expect someone like me to walk in with full awareness. I'm not just standing here, I'm claiming it, guys. You see, this place was built to see if your frequency can survive distortion, pressure, and neural scrambles. And I did more than survive it, I overrode it. Now every signal that passes through here is bent to me. It doesn't drain me, it amplifies me. This, friends, is how you flip the system. Not by fear, by resonance.
How about Sedona? I thought Sedona had a vortex field.
This was the controllers trying to utilize leftover technology after the last reset and nearly perfecting levitation technology. This is no jet engine that's in this thing, aptly referred to as the flying trash can. Yet it makes you wonder if bits and pieces of this is allowed to be mainstream. I wonder what they truly have hidden. But the old world had this technology for a long time. Just look at the flying Vimana airships of India. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
All the tools have been destroyed.
Religion is the worship of Satan, not God. Religion.
Yeah, religion is
the
bad.
Worship. Not just Christianity,
what?
All religion. That's why it divides people. It separates people. It takes your energy. It takes your money. It gives you false hopes. It gives you hope. Hope ain't real in the universe. Ain't no such thing as no motherfucking hope. Ain't no such thing as trying. Either it is or it isn't.
Religion is bad. What you need is a relationship with Christ. I know God is real. I know Jesus is real.
This is what they want us to see, yo. This is what they don't want y'all to know.
But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored. It's a tremendous. So there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Why do y'all think that they have this map so detailed to even like the coloration of the different waters? We're talking about even the smallest islands of the islands. Make it make sense. Yo, I've been doing this, this content for a long time, and y'all know that. I'm goated at this shit, you feel me? Look at that. Oh, they got Asgard. Y'all know they be putting the truth inside the movies, yo. Y'all know it. Look at that. Everything is detailed down to the brim. These are the maps they don't want y'all to see, bro. Look at the different like colors of the water. Y'all know that's like the different depths and everything. And then y'all seen what I post the other time. Look, all the different names of the oceans and everything. Say it ain't so, y'all. Say it ain't so. And then y'all heard what Emerald Bird said. That was Emerald Bird. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of us know by now, but if you don't know, that was Emerald Bird that was talking. One of the greatest explorers of all time, y'all. Tell me, how could it be land beyond this that they didn't discover at that time frame? I want y'all to make it make sense, yo. Wake up!
The question is why the government is hiding everything. Buddha Park, Laos, Costa Rica. Wow, Egypt.
You always see the checkerboard floor in music videos. To understand symbolism, you need to understand consciousness. Freemasonic symbolism is how to gain enlightenment. This symbol is called the Freemasonic Royal Arch, consisting of a left pillar, the masculine sun. This represents our physical actions, our left logical brain, and the right pillar with the moon, the feminine pillar. This represents the darkness. The moon is in the night, which represents what we cannot see, which is our internal world of thought, emotions, and consciousness. It represents the right brain also. In order to achieve enlightenment, you must rise above division, the black and white checkerboard, internal division, where your actions, left pillar, do not align with your internal guidance system, because emotions guide us through this life. They tell you what is right and what is wrong. When your consciousness is divided and not singular, you have internal contradiction. Your emotions are telling you to study, but your actions are scrolling on TikTok. That's the division, the internal chaos. This is when you are weak and your mind is useless and you're being moved by the chess master. This is a chessboard because the chess master has higher awareness, the elites. They understand how consciousness functions. So to unify the left pillar with the right, we must act with our physical body what our emotions are telling is right all the time. And this combines and builds a bridge from the left and the right, combining the left brain and the right brain, the internal world with the external world, and you gain light, higher understanding. The all-seeing eye is an eye. Your physical eye requires light to perceive things in the world, but the single eye represents the mind, and the mind requires light, which is knowledge, to perceive the world correctly. And you can't understand yourself if you are left hemisphere dominated or right hemisphere dominated and stuck in this division. You can't understand consciousness when your perception of the world is in this chaotic state. Your soul guides you through emotion, and it's guiding you towards your life purpose and awakening. You need to align the action, the masculine, with the internal emotional guidance, and you sync the two, gaining higher awareness, which is what enlightenment is.
Sounds like the new age BS to me.
Carl Jung was right when he said no matter how isolated you are and how lonely you feel, if you do your work truly and conscientiously, unknown allies will come and seek you out.
Whoa, that's deep. Something like synchronicity.
When God wakes you up at 3 o'clock a.m., don't make the mistake of going back to sleep. Many people, and the enemy, will try to convince you that you just needed to use the bathroom or that you were simply thirsty. But do you really believe that at 3 o'clock a.m., at this hour, God often visits because you are one of his chosen? It was at this very hour that Jacob wrestled with the angel for his blessing. In Mark 6:47, it says, "When evening came, the boat was in the middle of the lake, and he was alone on land. He saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them, shortly before dawn." Do you know what shortly before dawn, or the fourth watch of the night means? It's 3 o'clock a.m. Jesus was watching them struggle, but he showed up at 3 o'clock a.m. This is the hour when you must pray. Pray for wisdom. Pray for revelation. Because if God is waking you up at this hour, it's for a reason. If you've ever woken up at 3 o'clock a.m., feeling uneasy, restless, or burdened, there may be a deep spiritual meaning behind it. Amen. Comment amen and follow our page for more sacred stories.
Amen. I'm listening, Lord.
나 죽었더라 마다 다 죽었네.
뭐가心配だ
Wow, wow. That is crazy. I think this is a tsunami in Japan, 2011. What do you think? Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's my wife. Can he fit in there? Oh my goodness. Oh man. There were the smaller giants, last of their kind. Going back even further would explain the 40 feet doorways with latches to lock the doors 30 feet high. Oh man. God definitely knew what he was doing when he created us. Anyone who doesn't believe in him is blind.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
Anyone got a movie with deep psychological meaning? Drop it in the comment, please.
Yeah, it seemed like they all in one spot, but I ain't gonna lie, that's hard right there. That's some old world architecture. I'm right next to the one with the clock tower right here. And this, y'all see, I got different angles of it now. That's another one. That's hard. Old world buildings, man. Before the reset. That might be one too, shit, I ain't gonna lie. It gotta be. You see it got that Egyptian hieroglyphs on the front.
All the brown buildings are ours. All the glass, shiny ones are theirs.
Understand this, that when the United States of America was founded in 1776, that's why you have fireworks on the 4th of July. I've asked people, why do we have fireworks on the 4th of July? I don't know, it's to celebrate. No, it's not. It's not to celebrate. It's because America was founded with fireworks. There was a revolution. There was killing in the streets, and there was fireworks, cannons. That's how the country was founded, on a violent revolution that said to England, we've had enough of this. You need to understand this point, that when this country was founded, the King of England saw himself as a very powerful king in Europe. But when America was founded, they defeated the British, and the British went back home with their butts bleeding all over Europe, like in the movie Goodfellas. When the kid said something to Joe Pesci, and De Niro said, "You gonna let him get away with that? You gonna let him talk to you like that? He's just a kid, and he's talking to you like this?" Well, that's what happened in Europe. The royalty, all the royalty, the bankers, the international bankers, and all those that corrupt, evil, criminal gangs over in Europe that have been burning people at the stake and murdering people with the church, they looked at the King of England and said, "Are you gonna let these people get away with this? What's wrong with you? I thought you were supposed to be a very important king, and everyone's supposed to be frightened of you, and now we turn around and find out some little bunch of ragtag goofballs over there, whipped your ass and made you look like a fool. Are you going to let them get away with this?" And so what the king decided to do was not do anything. Leave the Americans alone, because they're crazy. They're drinking and they got guns, so leave them alone. Let it die down. Let it all die down. And like Mel Gibson said in the movie Patriot, the military guy on the English side to it said to his other guy, he said, "Leave these people alone, because after the war is over, we're going to do commerce with them." That's in the movie. We're going to do commerce. Commerce is sexual relations. We're going to deal with them in such a way. Now, they beat us. Okay, they founded their country, and we withdraw, but we're coming back. So I always say that's like, no, it's like you beating up some guy in a gang at night and everybody patting you on the back because you're a big shot. You beat this guy up. It ain't over yet, son. It's just started. They're coming back for you. Same thing is true. When the Americans defeated the British and sent them back home bleeding, it's not over yet. They're coming back. And they're coming back and they're going to deal with you. But they know they can't beat you right now because you're too mad, you're too drunk, and you got too many guns, so leave them alone. But we're going to come back and we're going to pay them back. It's going to be payday one day. That's what we got today. The British have come here and set up our government. They set up our finances. They've set everything up, our schools, set up all this stuff for us, and we sucked into it, and we don't know how to get out of it. Education, that's how to get out of it. Open your mind. Your mind's like a parachute. Don't work if it ain't open.
The truth. Bottom line is that the British own the U.S. through the banking system.
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that. How many? Yeah.
They're deeper in the clouds.
I came outside and I seen that up the sky. Pastor, they're real clear in here, look.
Yeah, you can see them, can't you?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. What a wonderful...
You have to put that on Facebook so we all get it.
I'm going to. I definitely am. Praise you, Jesus. Oh, I've never seen nothing like it in my life. Praise God.
Look way over yonder, and what do you think I see? I see a band of angels, Lord, they're coming after me. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, gonna get up out of the ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my...
Project Bluebeam.
1906. San Francisco, people. 119 years ago, people. Look at the horse and carriage, people. Look at electric cars, people. This is San Francisco, 1906. 119 years ago. Look at the Charlies, people. Look at the buildings, people. It's already here, people. It's already old, people. The infrastructure, California, 1906, San Francisco. Look at the electric cars, people. That's old technology, people. Electric cars been here over 119 years ago, people. That's old technology. Ain't nothing new. It's already old, people. Look at electric car, people. No exhaust. Electric car, people. 119 years ago, people. Don't let them fool you, people. Old technology. You see this, people? Look at the trolleys, people. Look at the tracks, people. How did they do that back then, people? Really? Look at a horse pulling a trolley right there. Look at that horse pulling that trolley. Do you see that, people? Do you see that, people?
That's AI, people.
A horse pulling a trolley next to your car. Catching a ride right there. They could just drive all over, anywhere they like back then. No traffic rules. This is 1906, San Francisco, 119 years ago, people. How did they do it? San Francisco, people, look at the infrastructure, look at the size of this building, people. How did they build that building 119 years ago? Do you see the size of this building, people? Do you see this? Do you see this technology going on back then with the horses and carriage? How did they build those buildings? How did they build this building, people? How did they build this building? Look at that. That's 119 years ago. San Francisco, 1906. Erected, 896. See that, people? 896. They try to add a 1. That's the real year, people. San Francisco, hidden history. Ooh, wait.
I want to know what kind of camera they were using. This is a good video.
You know that water can reveal if there's negative energy or a spirit in your home? Let me explain. Water is highly receptive to energy and can act as a detector for hidden presences. Here's an experiment you can try to find out. Take a glass of water and fill it up halfway. Add a pinch of salt and place it in a quiet corner of your house, somewhere it won't be disturbed. Leave it there for 7 days. If your home is free of negative energy or spirits, the water will stay clear with no noticeable changes. But if there's any kind of negative energy like envy, witchcraft, or even the presence of an obsessive spirit, the water will absorb it and change. You might notice cloudy water, bubbles forming, or even strange patterns appearing on the surface. This simple method has been used for centuries to detect energy shifts that are otherwise invisible. So if your glass of water shows signs of change, it could mean there's more to your home than meets the eye. Like, follow and share this video with someone who might need this.
The reason we're seeing an increase in addictions is because we as a society need to grow spiritually. You'll notice this. People who are like spiritually powerful, not necessarily monks, but like a lot of like the regular people have overcome an addiction. And anytime I have a patient with an addiction, once they're on the other side, they are like absolute beasts on the spiritual level. They can handle all kinds of adversity because they have mastered themselves.
Christ Jesus can break any addiction.
But if they want to create a new fracture, a new split, he would take me into the bathtub. They had a big walk-in bathtub, and he would drown me, hold me down there as I was drowning. And as I was fading and splitting and losing consciousness and beginning to convulse and drown, he would bring me out of it, and he would resuscitate me. And when I would come to consciousness, I didn't have any memory of the past. That was a new split, a blank slate is what it's called. That blank slate now is a new person. That's how a personality can get created. It's not always to that extreme. Once a lot of this patterning happens, it can be done with substances. It can be done with shocks and scares and frights. This is why a lot of the haunted houses and these kinds of things are used. Why the amusement and entertainment industry are what they are is because they're literally utilized by handlers to trauma and program different new assets. And so then that personality up, he could take me into the bathroom and show me the tub. That can be it. So, or somebody can come along when I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona, 150 miles away, and show me a picture of that tub and call the name of that personality out. Or it can be a specific ring that's during the programming session. They hold up the ring and teach you about this and give your name, your identity is bound to that. So when that ring is manifested, or a necklace, or a piece of jewelry, or a specific color and pattern of a shirt and ensemble is brought forth, that's when the personality is brought forward. Or you'll see checkerboard floors are used because it's that duality of those two parts. That's why it'll be in the entrance of people's homes. to trigger those personalities as they go in. This is why you'll see it in elite circles or in specific types of temples and ritual chambers, because they're bringing forth these other personalities, and with them, the spirits that accompany it.
Ooh. AI.
Most mysterious and secretive societies that actually exists. Freemasonry. Skull and Bones Yale. The Illuminati. Bilderberg Group.
Bilderberg.
Opus Dei. Knights Templars.
Ooh, I like this one.
The Thule Society. Bohemian Grove. The Rosicrucian. The Order of the Dragon. 9 Unknown Men.
Ooh.
Golden Dawn.
That's cool.
Club of Rome. Fabian Society.
Is the Freemasonry and Illuminati, is it the same thing?
You guys gone in and explored that hidden chamber? And if not, when will you be doing so? Because to be honest, we could do it by the end of the weekend. It's not difficult to drill a half-inch diameter hole and send in an endoscope here. So have we been in there? And if not, when are we going, brother? I need to know. This will answer all of our questions. If you want to squash debate involving, you know, conspiracy theorists and everything, all we got to do is go in and look. We know where it's at. We could drill a hole. This is doable.
Yeah, I agree. Why can't you just go in?
I answered your question, and I said,
You're saying we have not gone in and explored that chamber. Is that correct?
Can you please let me to answer you?
Yes.
I already answered you, and I said, all these voids that we found, the Scan Pyramid team and the English team, right now we are discussing and studying how we are going to get in. You cannot just go in directly like this. You have to make a study. You have to research it. You have to decide as a scientist, when can you do it? And when we can do it,
been 9 years.
we do that, we can...
Yeah, come on. I mean, we sent rockets. We sent rockets to the moon. Hang on, Dr. Hollis, we have sent rockets to the moon since the 60s. I mean, the idea we can get to the moon in space rockets, but we can't get inside a chamber of a tomb in a pyramid. I mean, come on.
Do you want me to answer now or still any talk? I told you what we found inside the Great Pyramid. And I told you this year, 2025, is the year that we are studying how can we enter inside these voids. And he said 9 years. Yes, it can take more than 9 years. This is the pyramid of Egypt.
He is worried that the Egypt won't get credit for building the pyramids.
If you think what's happening right now is bad, it's about to get a lot worse. Yeah, that's Tom Hoffman with a black eye. And the stuff is not happening in America, it's happening all over the world. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible so we can get out to as many people as possible. You see this map right here? This right here is for June 14th. I'll say allegedly, but there's this page that puts together all these things and coordinates them. And these are all the protests that they're calling for on June 14th. And since I took the first screenshot, more were added to it already. Read this headline right here. Blank invade child birthday party claiming it was a blank meeting. Do you remember how last week I was talking about how the human brain was going insane? We had another mass casualty in Las Vegas and a famous YouTuber was unalived. Same time as everything else. I gotta block it, of course. And everything from the first night was doubled last night. You know, the looting and everything else going on. And of course, with the black eye again, which one's on the left eye. It's completely irrelevant, just a black eye, you know? I guess this video is just to tell you guys to be prepared because remember this map. These are what's going to be happening on June 14th. We have all these celestial events in June. You know, we had the meteor shower, strawberry moon, a whole bunch of weird stuff happening this month as far as celestial events go. Which again, alters and makes people act weird, completely unrelated. And there's other things I just can't show you, but the only thing I'll say is keep calm. Don't let anybody infuriate you.
Stop with the doom and gloom.
Hardly. We should really be paying attention. There's so many things going on that I want to show you that I can't show you.
Keep your eyes on Jesus, folks. Don't let the world craziness in.
Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. We even see this in ancient Christianity. The bull is Taurus. Leo is the lion. The man is Aquarius, and the eagle is an old symbol for Scorpio. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. These 4 signs represent the middle of each season. Each one of these signs corresponds with an element. In the esoteric world, they teach you that you have 4 bodies and not 1. And your 4 dimensions correspond with the 4 elements, which also correspond with the zodiac signs. Aquarius is an air sign, which represents the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which represents the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spiritual body. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotional body. These mythical creatures never actually existed. They're showing you the 4 dimensions of your soul. Aquarius the mind, Scorpio the emotions, Taurus the physical body, and Leo the lion, the spirit. These depictions are showing you the 4 different bodies of your soul. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. The spirit, the body, the mind, and emotion. Each gospel shows Jesus according to the different body of consciousness. All of this symbolism in the Sumerians and the Bible is talking about you.
Don't believe this. I'm not understanding. What are we seeing exactly?
Software engineer lost his $150,000 a year job to AI. He applied to over 800 roles and was rejected by all of them, and is now living in a trailer delivering DoorDash to survive. Sean has seen layoffs before, such as during the 2008 crash or during COVID-19, but this time it's different. AI didn't just take his job, it's now guarding the gates to every new one. Most of his applications never reach a human, and even interviews are led by bots. He's got 20 years of experience, a computer science degree, and yet nothing. He's applied to over 800 jobs and landed fewer than 10 interviews. Meanwhile, he's delivering wings to hotel rooms and selling laptops on eBay to scrape together a few $100. He's not alone. Over 200,000 tech workers have been laid off in the past 2 years. Coding jobs are vanishing as AI models like ChatGPT and Claude start writing most of the code. By this fall, Anthropic CEO says that AI could be doing 90% of it. Sean's not bitter about the tech. He's still an AI believer. What he can't accept is how companies are using it to cut costs and not to expand opportunity. He warns that the great displacement is already well underway, and no one's ready. Not companies, not policymakers, not even the people that it's about to hit next.
If 90% of the population are jobless, who will buy these AI's products? AI?
Death is irreversible, and the fact that she's
as you can see. A voice cuts in saying that death is irreversible, and the fact that she is trapped before it was cut.
The voice we're hearing is someone in body. She's referring to someone who is also in body that is in trouble. Like they're being silenced, it's like they're being trapped by information. Someone else's life, with like the blink of an eye, has changed and is in essence trapped by information that they're holding.
This was debunked. It was another reporter.
We're always talking about doors, but what's behind them?
It's like thinking about what's behind the door.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm in the room, it's like, damn, it's another room. So I just keep going in different rooms. So
one of them times I open the door, I'm going to be afraid and not open the door because I'm be scared. It's just going to be the exit. I don't want it to not be another room. I want it to always be another room. And in order for me to protect that, I just don't open the door.
It's a level of success where it's a door. When you platinum and you getting 50,000 a show, I've been there. There's a door that you can walk in. I was offered these doors. I just chose to go straight.
No, there's a curtain. There's another room, and there's a curtain. And in that room is some shit. You're like, God damn, I didn't know y'all was fucking doing this back here.
Yeah, we never had access to that sort of information.
I call it the room with the door behind it. You never get to that door. We always got through the first door, and we were so excited about being in that room that we never looked at the next door, right?
There's 3 different doors, right? There's 3 different ways to walk. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight.
Hollywood is controlled by Satan.
You make your bed every morning? If not, you might want to start. An unmade bed is more than just messy. It's a spiritual invitation for unseen entities to make themselves at home. Your bed is where you are at your most psychically vulnerable. As you sleep, you travel in the astral plane, and your body can attract spiritual attachments. When you wake up and leave your bed in a chaotic, rumpled state, you are leaving that vulnerable, open energy field to stagnate in your room all day long. A messy bed acts like an anchor for any spirits that may have been drawn to you during the night, giving them a comfortable place to linger until you return. This is why you might feel tired after being out all day, or why your bedroom can have a heavy, draining atmosphere even when you're not in it. To protect your space, you must make your bed every morning. This is not a chore, it is a crucial daily ritual. By smoothing the sheets and arranging the pillows, you are energetically cleansing your sleeping space, closing the portal you were just in, and sealing your bed with a positive intention for the day. No lingering energies can get comfortable while you're away.
I rebuke all the negative and evil in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
It's hard to talk about dimensions, but I was standing behind an alien in a spacecraft, just a small one, which I understand get bigger and smaller depending upon. At any rate, he said, "You shouldn't be here." And I said, "I know, I realize this is a strange place, but before I go, could I ask you a question?" And this is really a very strong memory in me. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, but this is in there. I'm telling myself I'm silly again. Dude, it's not in there. At any rate, and he said, "Okay." And I said, "How do you get from here to Alpha Centauri?" We can't do that. The only thing that we think about is, I have to go really fast for a really long time. How is it that you can go to Alpha Centauri without any problem? And essentially he said, "You wouldn't understand." So I said, "I agree that that's a problem. However, I know that you have access to my mental thoughts." I mean, you're not talking to me with your mouth. You have access to my mental thoughts, and I understand that. Can you use what information I have in my head and try to explain it to me? And he said, "Well, do you know what a Rubik's Cube is?" I said, "Oh yeah, my son can do them in 2 minutes." He says, "Okay, so imagine a Rubik's Cube, but not necessarily just the 6 sides. Just imagine the concept of a Rubik's Cube." And I said, "Okay. Now imagine on each one of the tiles on the Rubik's Cube has a chart of the elements, an elemental chart." And you say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is. You know, I've had science in school and everything." He says, "Now, on each of the other 5 surfaces, there's also elemental charts." And I said, "So, okay, but what's the deal?" And he said, "Well, you're thinking about going that way very fast for a very long time." What he didn't say to me, which I'm thinking right now, there's no space and time. I'm only thinking that right now. That wasn't part of the explanation. And he says, so what you do to get to Alpha Centauri is you just twist the cube. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I told you you wouldn't understand. And he said, when the periodic table occurs in a different place, you're at that place. And that's just a very crude explanation. But you have to stop thinking about go that way for a long time very fast. It doesn't work.
The problem for us is we don't know how to twist the cube.
Yo, so is this not what people have been seeing in the sky? Anyway, this gets actually a lot crazier. This is not why I'm trying to show you this, but this part does look like some shit that's been flying around when people zoom in. But wait till I do this. Hold on. I just came out to see how much water my sheep has drank. That's what I do.
What is that?
I check on them like that. So you see how this is? Just wait. Just hold up till the damn thing stops. I had seen a video of a dude saying that the moon is a reflection of the earth. And I forgot about it till I just walked up and did this. Look at that. That looks like the moon, bro. You see those waves going across? That sometimes happens. And people that know me are going to be like, dude, Alex lost his mind. But I've always been like this. I just don't say it out loud. Look at that. That's the moon, man.
All right, man.
On a flat surface with dry land showing on the shadows. Craters. Whatever. Those ain't craters. It's dry land, dude. I mean, I can't say for sure, just like nobody's been in space to prove that we can go to Mars. I can't prove that this is the moon, but hey.
You mean the moon is the reflection of the sun?
Did y'all see what happened to Japan? All right, y'all, stick with me. And this proves that, you know, we have some new water coming in, y'all, because this is what happened in Japan. At about 11 p.m. last night, the sirens started going off, the flood sirens, y'all. Look at the sky. This is 11 p.m., and the sky was flashing like crazy. And it's been doing it here as well, too, y'all. You hear the sirens? Now, I have been saying that this water has been excessive, and there's no way that rain coming down from the sky is the culprit of these floods, right? Now, you can clearly see in these videos that this water is coming up from under the ground, y'all. Look at what's going on under here, y'all. And remember, Japan is due for a huge earthquake or tsunami type stuff that's going to happen pretty soon. You know, this is prophecy. The roof and the train stations were literally collapsing. Now, do you guys notice something? So look at the water that's being found in Japan, y'all. This water is crystal clear. It's crystal clear, y'all. Look at this. So remember, they said the poles have reversed, and now we have warm water coming from under the ground, and it's merging with the salt water, and it's removing the salt water. And look at this, y'all. Look at this. This water is not murky. It's not dirty. I don't know what he's doing. Someone needs to tell him that's not working. But it's not dirty, y'all. Look. You can see it clearer in this video. That almost looks like drinking water. So is this the Antarctic water that's coming up to Japan right now, y'all? So y'all, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of this, y'all. The floor beneath us is cracking. The matrix is literally breaking down. But yes, y'all, very interesting times, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Mother Nature is replenishing the earth.
Do you know that when a cat disappears, it's not always just a coincidence? Most people think it ran away, got lost, or simply chose not to return. But what few realize is that a cat's presence in your life is never random. Cats are not just pets, they are silent guardians. They sense what we cannot see. They absorb the heavy energies, protect your spirit, and quietly shield your soul from harm. When a cat enters your life, it chooses you. It watches over you facing darkness that could have hurt you or even destroyed you from within. And when it suddenly vanishes without warning, it may be because its mission is complete. It may have taken something dark with Iton Unseen Shadow, a spiritual burden, something you didn't even know was there. And the most powerful part, that energy often never returns because your cat carried it away and didn't come back. So if your cat ever disappeared without a trace, don't see it as abandonment. See it as a final act of love, a quiet sacrifice made without asking for thanks, a soul that came to protect yours and left once you were safe, a spiritual farewell.
This is AI. Joe didn't say that. Oh, by the way, my cat Georgie is missing. I'm very sad. I hope you're okay, Georgie.
This is just a little tip for all the people that are going through spiritual awakenings and things like that. Just know, if you're not with God and you're being told that you're going through ascension, this is the biggest lie that the devil will ever tell you. Because for 11 years, if you follow me and you know my story, you know, for 11 years, I was heavily involved in occult, satanic worship, witchcraft, anything that you can imagine. I was involved. I was in it. And for a long time, I was proud. I was proud of the power that I held and the things that I was able to manifest. But it wasn't ascension. Ascension can only happen through God. True ascension can only happen through God. Elevation can only happen through God. The devil does not elevate. The devil just sinks further, and he will drag you with him. So, if you're on a spiritual path, and you don't have God in the mix, prepare. Because the devil's only going to pull you further and further down. Witchcraft, all those things that you see, Hollywood will glamorize it, absolutely, because, you know, Hollywood. But when you actually walk through it and you have experienced the lowest of the low and you have met the devil, you realize that it was just bullshit. The devil is full of empty promises. There's nothing at the end of that road. There's nothing at the end of that tunnel. That light is false. You know, in Satan worship, we think we're the enlightened ones. Absolutely not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You are engulfed in darkness, so much so that your tiny little bit of light is what's shining. The real light shines through you, to you, through God. And it took me a long time to realize that. And why did I do it? For fame, fortune. I wanted to be one of the greatest writers to exist. And funny, because I couldn't pick up a pen for years. The devil's full of empty promises. Do not believe him. Do not believe him. There's a reason they call him the great deceiver. He'll promise you the world and throw you into hell with him. That's the reality of it. But many people aren't willing to understand that. Walk with God. God is the only way. God is the only way. I'm not saying that I'm pushing anything onto anybody, because that's not my path. I had to go down my path and nobody could tell me shit. I had to learn for myself. But what I am telling you is, as somebody who experienced the darkest night of the soul many times, walk with God. Shit's getting real. The world is getting really dark. The world is getting very dark, and it's happening daily, by the moment.
Yep.
And Satan's building an army. And I was a part of that army for a long time. I was the one arguing with people, with Christian people, and telling them they were full of shit. But now on the other side of that, sharing my story and helping other people come out of the dark is my life purpose. I don't give a fuck about fame.
Ooh.
Will I become a writer one day? Yeah, by the grace of God. Because that's the only way it's going to be done, with purpose. But I will tell you this, if I build a big enough platform, I won't do it for the reasons that others do it for. I don't give a shit about money. I've had money, and I haven't.
Jesus Christ is King. He's the only one can save.
I have to leave the world to change it. You don't have to go live in the woods. You don't have to burn it all down. The system you see, the wires, the roads, the trucks, the stores, the shelves, it was built by hands like yours. Hands that forgot their own rhythm. Hearts that were told their worth was a paycheck, and now we remember. We don't run away. We turn it inside out. We flip the spell. We use the same roads, the same shelves, the same trucks, the same tools, but we reroute the current. No more doing it for money, we do it for each other. We keep the wheels turning, but we stop the siphoning. Instead of one person burning 5 days a week to survive, 5 people each give a day, or 2, or what they can, and the rest is life, offered, lived, shared. We don't need to isolate, we need to integrate, with truth, with breath, with rhythm. The infrastructure is already here. It was just pointed in the wrong direction. So now we ask the ones who hold the levers, let go. You have enough. We're not coming to steal, we're coming to remind you don't have to hoard anymore. We speak to the store managers, to the tech workers, to the delivery drivers. Keep doing what you do, but let it serve life, not control. We create resource zones, not based on profit, but on pulse. We plant food in cities. We trade skills without currency. We host circles. We share tools. We turn homes into sanctuaries. We rotate contributions instead of assigning job titles. Applications become consent forms, not prove your worth, but here's what I can give, here's when I can give it. No more asking to survive, just choosing to serve. And slowly, the system that was built to own us dissolves without a fight, because we stopped feeding it. This is the shift. We don't abandon the grid, we liberate it. We stop running electricity through lies and start moving power through love. We stop needing permission to live. We start remembering how we used to move before the mimic taught us to sell our breath. This isn't revolution, this is return to each other, to presence, to pulse. You don't have to go off grid, you just have to stop powering the lie. Let the truth run through the wires again. Let the breath move through the city. Let life return, right here, right now, in the heart of the machine. We are orchard born, and Eden breathes again through us. The time is now.
Sadly, there are too many selfish people around for this to work.
Did you know there were 2 men in the Bible whom even Lucifer feared? Yes, 2 human beings whose connection with the Most High was so profound that even the Prince of Darkness dared not confront them directly. The first was Enoch, the man who walked with God. He never tasted death, for he was taken alive into heaven. According to the Book of Enoch, after being transformed into a celestial being, Enoch became known as Metatron, the celestial scribe, holding such a high rank that even the angels bow before him. The second was Melchizedek, the king of Salem and priest of the Most High God. He appears mysteriously in Genesis, having no genealogy, no father or mother, and is described in the book of Hebrews as being like the Son of God. Some apocryphal texts portray him as a judge in the end times. Standing alongside Archangel Michael, these 2 men represent holiness and divine authority on a level that even the forces of hell cannot ignore. Their presence is feared in the spiritual realms, for they walked so closely with God that they became direct instruments of his justice.
Melchizedek is Jesus Christ. If you know, you know.
Placing it into the womb of the female, then they can draw through the Stargate. If the child is born at the exact time and the exact date, they can draw that entity into and then birth.
W czasach Atlantydy Thoth
in Atlantean times was king and ruler, and he ruled for 50,000 years throughout Atlantis. If we go back 13,000 years, let's say 11,000 BC, there was a very similar situation that is happening now that was happening then. A potential cataclysm that was going to happen then. They think that they can stop the cataclysm that happened when Atlantis fell. Atlantis wasn't some idyllic paradise. It also had wars, and it was also, negativity went on there, but it was a far more advanced civilization than the one we have now. So genetically manipulating and taking DNA from here, taking DNA from there, Project Ibis. There's also a female parallel project to it where they were trying to bring in female deities too. They were looking to bring in the partners, the female partners, to pair them up with the males. Let's use the example of Isis. They went and took DNA from the tomb or the body of Isis, and then they manipulated it and then placed it into some women's wombs are stargates, are stargate openings. Okay, so they also have the knowledge of which women's wombs are stargates. So then by manipulating DNA, placing this here, placing this there, then placing it into the womb of the female, then they can draw through the Stargate if the child is born at the exact time and the exact date, and then they can draw that entity in and then birth. We're understanding that the female is the receiving energy and the giving energy. So obviously there are 2 ways. One is naturally a male and a female coming together. And the other way is the manipulated way, where they will, they track through Project Oak Tree to find these. I think there's only very few very, very, very few women who have these specific stargates, 1111 stargates, in their wombs, and they found those and they tracked those. So the mother has the child. They've got to make sure that the child doesn't look completely different to its parents, otherwise it's going to look very, very bizarre. So what they do is they take small amounts of DNA from the carrier mother and small amounts of DNA from the supposed father, integrate that into the child. This was primarily an MI6 project, but it was called Zygote. It was called the MI7 Zygote project. MI5 would be that takes care of what happens in the UK. MI6 takes care of international. But what most people don't know is there is MI1 to MI9 all the way through. Project Paperclip.
What's the devil conspiracy?
I'm hearing 25 people in Baltimore, y'all, just dropped, gone. I'm hearing this was on the avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue, y'all. If you in that area, go check on y'all people. The man in the video said they just dropped from out of nowhere, y'all. That shit don't sound right to me. Y'all, take a listen to the video.
Listen, yo, 25 people just died on North and Pennsylvania Avenue. On North and Pennsylvania Avenue, 25 motherfuckers
On the
just
avenue.
died. Check on y'all peoples, man. Real shit. This shit crazy as a motherfucker. They just dropped from out of nowhere.
So what I'm hearing is a wave of people just OD'd. I'm talking about they was up there with the clouds, but they went a little beyond it. I know y'all see all the police and the ambulance over there, y'all. I'm hearing they Narcan 25 people. They was doing it left and right. And then I'm hearing it wasn't a thing that boop. I'm hearing it was either the shit you just touched, and then these people just fell out of nowhere. And allegedly, it's something worse than that fact. Like, what? I'm gonna keep y'all updated on this situation. This junk crazy, fool.
It sounds like something was sprayed in the air.
Never take anyone to live in your house, no matter if you do it with all your heart, no matter if they are distant relatives or people who tell you they are going through a bad time. Sooner or later, everything gets complicated. Let me explain. Your home is more than just four walls. It's your sanctuary. It holds your energy, your routines, your peace. But when you open your doors to someone else, especially to live with you long term, you're not just sharing space, you're sharing energy. And not all energy blends well. Some people walk in carrying burdens, stress, grief, anger, or worse, unseen attachments. The moment they settle in, the atmosphere shifts. You might not notice it right away, but things start feeling off. You wake up tired even after sleeping well. The air feels heavy. You argue more, lose things, feel watched. That's not a coincidence. Your generosity may be pure, but spiritual boundaries matter. If they've experienced trauma, engaged in dark practices, or even unknowingly attracted something, it doesn't stay outside. It moves in with them. There are countless stories of homes falling into chaos after just helping someone out. Lights flicker, pets grow uneasy, and the worst part? Once the energy settles, even after they leave, it sometimes stays. Still think it's just kindness? Or will you think twice before letting someone cross your threshold? Let me know in the comments. Like, follow, and share if you've ever felt your house change the moment someone new moved in.
Help people, but avoid letting them live permanently where you live. Find a solution for people in need, but outside your home.
China will train its kids to dominate the future. Get ready. China has just reformed its education system to turn every child into an artificial intelligence expert before the age of 15. Starting in first grade, it is now mandatory to learn how to program algorithms, train AI models, and understand how neural networks work. This isn't an extra workshop. It's part of the national curriculum. While other countries are still debating whether to introduce AI in classrooms, China has already made it a state policy. The goal? Not to adapt, but to dominate. Since December, more than 180 schools in Beijing and other pilot cities have already implemented classes in machine learning, digital ethics, robotics, and data analysis. Teachers are being retrained at full speed, and textbooks are being rewritten for this new era. This isn't a trend, it's a calculated strategy. China's elite believes that whoever controls AI will control the future. That's why they're training their children to lead in science, technology, and automation. Meanwhile, in other countries, students barely use computers. China isn't playing. It's planting mines for an invisible war that has already begun. And if we don't wake up, we'll lose without even knowing it.
Why does China prefer to send, their people to go to college in the USA?
The final list of the worst celebrities before and after selling their souls. Doja Cat a few years ago. And her after the worst decision of her life. The new generation is acting really strange. Lil Nas X before his transformation.
Till I can't no more. I got the horses in the back.
And him after his recent change.
He might be on the way like call me by your name.
He even gave a lap dance to the devil. The worst of all, Sam Smith before.
Next to you.
And here he is now.
This is disgusting.
He dresses as a demon right in the middle of his concerts. Katy Perry before. And here she is after choosing to go to the dark side.
That's not Katy Perry. That's Lady Gaga.
She once showed up as a demon bride.
So, Katy Perry became Lady Gaga after crossing to the dark side? That's bizarre.
4-ingredient recipe that big corporations are using to poison our pineal gland and disconnect us from the higher world. Check this out.
Be a movement driven by big corporations to take the soul away from people, to disconnect people from the higher world. And in order to do that, we have to destroy the pineal gland in people. And I followed the research on that, and amazingly what we found, the pineal gland is the most sensitive part of our central nervous system and is highly, highly, highly sensitive to 4 things. Aluminum, glyphosate, fluoride, and Wi-Fi.
Oh, Wi-Fi.
And we are the only country in the world that has pushed these 4 things in the last 60 years or so on everybody growing up here. There must have been an ultra intelligent group of scientists who have designed this protocol to fluoridate the drinking water, to put nanoniced aluminum in the air, to put glyphosate in the food, and then activate it, spark it with the right frequencies.
The model I would like to share through which you can know all things. There is one and only model, and this has escaped many great truthers to their own impediment throughout history. There is a simple model, and the Egyptians spoke of this in their great axiom, their great motto, all is Atum. And Atum is the model, because Atum is the all. When I first meditated on this expression, I was reading an Alvin Boyd Kuhn book about language, the esoteric nature of language. And he was speaking about the atom and the fact that it means that it's indivisible. Therefore, I pondered on this and I thought, well, if atom means unit, indivisible, the one, the monad, and by the way, monad is an anagram for Adam, which is atom. Knowing languages very well and knowing that an A in front of a word is called a privative or a privative. So when you have a Gnostic, you have a believer, a knower. An agnostic, with an A in front of it, privates the word of its original meaning and gives you the opposite. So I realized then that Tom, without the A in front of it, means twin, Thomas. In one word, you have the monad and the dyad, which is better known as the demiurge, the demiurgos, the god of two. And that turns out to be the god of redshift, blue shift. Red and blue are the two opposing vortex colors of the atom. Every atom has a red polarity and a blue polarity. And in the middle is the white light. Thomas, meaning twin, twain, means to divide the monad. And so we see this process in nature where unity divides in order to express itself. And so points of energy called atoms hence our body is an anatomy, and we also have a torso, which is an anagram for Taurus, hence the torus field, which emanates from our aura. Taurus is torso, and anatomy means a body of atoms. So when you realize that the true model of the universe is the torus field, and that is an atom, then you realize that through this, call it a field, an energy field, which expresses itself in the time-space continuum, we realize that all things are doing this.
Do you believe in Jesus Christ, that he was here on this earth physically? There's tons of proof that he was.
It's a mechanism of seeing through a mask work.
The different schools have different methodologies, but the end result was the same. The lady in the UK, she was teaching mostly children, and the way she would teach it is she would tell the kids that imagine that there's light coming through you inside the mask. So the kids would see light everywhere, and if you have light, then your brain can see. It's the brain. You see with your brain, you don't see with your eyes. So by suggesting that you have light inside your mask and everywhere, they could just see. It's insane, but it happened. In other schools, the one in Utah, which is fascinating, the way they taught it, they would teach it based on vibration. So you're completely blindfolded, but you become so sensitive that, like, let's say the mic is in front of me, the vibration of the mic, of course with training, will be so clear that I can tell, okay, it's a metal thing, that you project voice. You start to sense the vibration of the object, and as you get really good at it, you basically can see what it is. So it's just fascinating. It tells you how we have different powers to do what we want.
But why wouldn't blind people use this method?
Robots are stealing human jobs faster than anyone predicted, and 8 major industries just proved human workers are becoming completely obsolete. Waymo autonomous taxis are already serving 200,000 paid rides per week with 0 human drivers, while Amazon deployed 750,000 warehouse robots that sort packages faster and more accurately than any human worker. In China, robotic gas station attendants refuel cars without human help, and robot chefs trained on 5 million recipes are cooking restaurant-quality meals with perfect precision every single time. Boston Dynamics robots are now operating professional film cameras and performing backflips while capturing movie scenes, completely replacing human camera operators who spent decades mastering their craft. The most terrifying example is robots repairing high-voltage power lines because utility companies realize machines never get electrocuted, never fall, and never demand overtime pay or health insurance. These aren't prototypes or future concepts. Every single one of these robots is working right now, earning money for companies while human workers get laid off and replaced. From taxi drivers to warehouse workers to professional chefs, robots are proving they can do almost every job better, faster, and cheaper than the humans who used to do them. The job apocalypse isn't coming in 10 years, it's happening today, while most people are still pretending their careers are safe from automations. Which job will be the last one that robots can't steal from humans?
Plumbing in all houses will be one of the last they replace.
When I started dealing with ritually individuals, then we dealt with military-oriented, highly trained, programmed and inside of them. When we began to deal with them, I dealt with someone from Fort Bragg for quite a while and a few others. We were sitting in a lake, Conneaut Lake. They reached over and ripped open my shirt to see if I was wired, if I was wiring and recording them. They were the most sophisticated satanic warrior type person. They knew 5-6 languages. They knew the ancient Twilight languages. They knew how to conjure. They knew how to use Belteshazzar, Okwam, all these old Pictish languages of the Druids to summon. They are the real Luciferian. They've been through many human things. So they sat there to tell me some of those things, what they've been involved with, how they sacrifice a human. I'm listening to all this stuff from them. And then they said, you have no idea, Russ, how many of us there are out there. How many satanic chosen ones. You have no idea how many. You have no idea what's coming. We smell Christian. We are waiting for our day. When the call is given, millions of us will be released. And they looked at me and said, you believe in revivals, and you believe in Pentecost and the power of God. You believe in all that. We believe in the Black Awakening, a multi-continental release of power to activate the program Demonized, where they've the demonic powers to these super soldiers. I do believe that millions and millions of these trained, programmed, altered, demonized super soldiers, whether we want to say it or not, they believe they're being raised to help bring the Antichrist in. When I was in England just a few months ago, their top guy that deals with SRA, Wilfred Wong, first time I meet him, I pull him aside and I said, listen, you've been doing this 25 years, yeah? I said, you know all about programming and demons, all that? Yes. I looked right at him and I said, Wilfred, why are they here in England? Instantly, he said, they're here to our government. They're here to help bring in and usher in the Antichrist in a new order. That's true in Germany, when we were in Germany, when we went to Wadelsburg Castle. That's true in Poland, when we went there. That's true in Switzerland. It's true in Canada. When we talk about our research in 38 years worldwide, there may be well over 100 million generations of them. If even half, or even if 10% were intact, like say the United States, remember the in Vegas, look what he did. What if 10,000 of them were released in 1 week? That's their plot plan and biblical prophecies ahead of that to say, here is what is going to happen. And from that, a global monetary collapse. And from that, all that chaos is coming. So Revelation 13, a whole new order with the Antichrist can come. The secular world, they're registering, millions coming in for diagnosis on that. Now, they don't know how to handle the satanic side. I'm going to tell you just straight out, after 38 years of dealing with it, not only is SRA real here in the United States, that there are millions of victims by design, that there's now generations of them. We deal with 65 and 70-year-olds. They're the first generation. Then we go to 40-year-olds and 20-year-olds. I got 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds we're dealing with. Because if you don't stop this somewhere, they do it to the next generation. That's by design. That's the way it's supposed to be for them. But it occurs in selection. It's generational. They bring a lot of to the child to cause split in personality so that they can demonize and or begin to program. You're going to be a witch, you're going to be a conjurer, you're going to be a programmed. All kinds of these things happen. They're raised
evil,
in that system.
man.
They're raised to keep all of that hidden down till later on. Millions have already showed up at psych wards all across America since the late 70s to this day. It's all about their unsatiable God. Anything they can do to humanity, innocence, as in a God in a sense.
If the Antichrist warriors are powerful, just imagine how powerful the warriors of the one and through Jesus Christ are. Don't be afraid.
The reason gold is so expensive is that it can induce the ability to perceive and travel interdimensionally. In Genesis of the Grail Kings, Lawrence Gardner cites how ancient Egyptian priests knew the secret to transform gold into a white monatomic substance, which would be able to, quote, disappear from sight into another dimension of space-time and then return. It was said to have an anti-gravitational effect and was thought to transfer its weightlessness to anything in contact with it, possibly explaining how the massive blocks of the pyramids were moved into place. The consumption of this gold was believed to activate the pineal and pituitary glands to extraordinary levels and was ingested by kings and pharaohs to enhance perception and intuition, making them, quote, almost like gods. It was considered the ultimate food for the light body and is also identified as the hidden manna mentioned in the Bible. It is also said to be capable of emitting pure light, not the light we see, but a purer proto-form of it. This white gold derivative is also said to be synonymous with the Philosopher's Stone, which grants one the ability to materialize any substance at will, travel interdimensionally, and even achieve fallen knowledge.
This is spiritual warfare in the unseen realm of humans. So this is a demon, right? It knows its mission. Demons are being sent now to go attack. Sent the agents to attack the church. Watch what happens next. It gets crazy. Different locations, right? Boom. Demons come down. They drop down on the church. This gets crazy. So the demons enter. Boom. In the physical. The young agents who are assigned, trying putting out the Holy Spirit. Check out this woman right here. Check her out. That's the pastor right there. The pastor. He's preaching with the Holy Spirit. What does she do? Seduction with the eyes. Jezebel. Instantly, what happens? Seduces the man with the magic seduction eyes. What happens? He starts to lust, he starts to crack, he starts to fall, he lusted over her, commits adultery in his heart. Boom, what happens? Fire goes out. He grieved the Holy Spirit. He died from a heart attack. The agents of Satan secretly killed him, thrown in the lake of fire. He was thrown in the fire for this, y'all. What happens to the church? Destroyed, completely obliterated because of this. This is what they want to do. They want to destroy church.
The reality itself is uncertain. No matter how hard you try, you can't know everything. This isn't sci-fi. This is the legacy of Werner Heisenberg, one of quantum theory's most enigmatic figures.
Oh, I've seen the movie.
Heisenberg was a German physicist who,
he made
at just
bombs.
23, changed physics forever. He introduced the uncertainty principle, the idea that you can't simultaneously know both a particle's exact position and momentum. This wasn't just math. It redefined how we see the universe, not as a clockwork machine, but as a place full of probabilities and limitations. He won the Nobel Prize in 1932, contributed to atomic research, and later led Germany's controversial wartime nuclear project. Genius or moral enigma? Heisenberg remains a mystery in both science and history. In the quantum world, uncertainty isn't a flaw, it's a law. And Heisenberg? He wrote it.
Yep. Check out the movie.